Imagine a world where countless human-like species once walked the earth, each vying for survival. Yet, only one would rise to dominate every corner of the planet: Homo sapiens. The most extraordinary storytellers nature ever created. 200,000 years ago, our species emerged in the heart of Africa. We were not the strongest, nor the fastest, but we carried within us a spark, an intelligence that would soon change everything. In the beginning, our ancestors lived as hunters and gatherers, roaming vast landscapes in small tribes. Survival meant tracking animals, gathering plants, and reading the land like a living book written by nature's invisible hand. We were not alone. The Neanderthals thrived in the cold forests of Europe. The Denisovans roamed the mountains of Asia. Other forgotten cousins walked distant lands. The world was a patchwork of human species. Our early existence was fragile. Each day brought new challenges: predators, disease, hunger, and violent storms. To survive, we relied on cooperation, passing knowledge from one generation to the next, stitching together a chain of wisdom. Fire was our first great tool of power. It lit our nights, kept predators away, and cooked our food. Around flickering flames, we shared stories, forging the beginnings of language and culture. Our minds evolved to imagine things that did not exist: gods, spirits, and worlds beyond the physical. This ability to believe and share imagined realities became our greatest weapon in the struggle for dominance. We began crafting stone blades sharper than a tiger's tooth, sewing clothes from animal hides, and carving symbolic art into bone and rock. Our hands shaped the world, but our minds shaped the future. As the Ice Age gripped the earth, survival grew harsher. Yet, we adapted, migrating into new territories, inventing better tools, and finding ways to endure the cold. Adaptability became our defining trait. When our ancestors first set foot outside Africa, they encountered strange lands and stranger beings. Some they fought, others they mingled with, leaving traces of ancient cousins in our very DNA today. Neanderthals were strong, intelligent, and skilled hunters. Yet, over time, they vanished. Many believe we outcompete them for resources. Others suggest we absorbed them through interbreeding, blending their legacy into our own. By 40,000 years ago, Homo sapiens had spread to Europe, Asia, and Australia. Our art exploded in complexity. Paintings of bison and horses adorned cave walls, whispering across millennia of our shared humanity. Language became our greatest superpower. It allowed us to plan hunts, warn of danger, and share ideas far beyond the here and now. With words, we could dream together and act as one. Stories bound us into tribes larger than the eye could see. People who never met could still trust each other, united by myths, customs, and shared beliefs. We became a networked species. As we mastered our environments, our populations grew. We hunted mammoths across icy plains, fished rivers swollen with salmon, and gathered berries in sunlit meadows. The rhythm of life followed the pulse of nature. Then, a revolution unlike any before began: the shift from foraging to farming. It was the dawn of agriculture, and it would transform our species in ways we could not yet imagine. We learned to plant seeds and tame animals. Villages sprouted across fertile lands. With food surpluses came stability, and stability birthed the first whispers of civilization. Farming was a double-edged sword. It fed more mouths but also brought disease, inequality, and dependence on fragile crops. Yet, it anchored us to the land, forever changing our destiny. Permanent settlements grew into towns, then cities. Walls rose, markets bustled, and the first leaders emerged. Power, once shared equally, now rested in the hands of the few. We built monuments to gods and kings, etched laws into stone, and charted the movements of stars. Human culture, once scattered, began to weave into vast tapestries of shared identity. One trade route stretched across deserts and seas. Gold, spices, and ideas flowed between distant lands, binding strangers together in a global web. Long before the modern age, conflict was never far. We fought wars over land, resources, and belief. Yet, through conquest and exchange, cultures merged, creating the diverse civilizations we know today. From Mesopotamia to the Nile, from the Indus Valley to ancient China, the seeds of empire took root. Humanity's story became one of ambition, innovation, and relentless expansion. We learned to write, preserving our thoughts beyond memory. Clay tablets, papyrus scrolls, and inked parchments carried the voices of the past into the future. Religion flourished, offering meaning in a chaotic world. Temples, rituals, and sacred texts gave us hope, and sometimes, the justification for conquest and control. Science, too, began to take its first, tentative steps. We charted the movement of the stars, unlocked the mysteries of medicine, and dared to experiment with the raw forces of engineering. With each breakthrough, we pushed against the limits of the known world, expanding the realm of what humanity could dream, and then achieve. Centuries blurred into millennia. Great empires rose in glory and crumbled into dust, leaving behind silent ruins. These stones still whisper their stories to those who walk among them, carrying echoes of ambition, triumph, and tragedy. We ventured beyond familiar shores, sailing uncharted oceans and mapping entire continents. For the first time, we began to see our planet as one vast, interconnected stage, where the human story unfolded across every horizon. And then came the Industrial Revolution, and with it, a transformation unlike any before. Machines multiplied our strength, cities swelled with life, and the rhythm of existence quickened to a pace our ancestors could scarcely comprehend. Inches just a few short centuries. We leapt from horse-drawn carts to rocket ships. We became the first species in Earth's history to set foot beyond the cradle of our home world. Our mastery over nature brought wonders, but also grave risks. We gained the power to reshape climates, rewrite the code of life itself, and even hold the terrifying ability to end our own story. Yet, in spite of all our flaws, the spark of compassion still burns within us. We heal the sick, create beauty from nothing, and dream of realms we have yet to see. The same stories that once united small tribes around a fire now connect billions across the globe. Our myths may be digital, our campfires glowing screens, but the human spirit behind them remains unchanged. Still, we ask the eternal questions: who are we? Where did we come from? Where are we going? Within our bones lies the memory of every step our ancestors took, from the endless grasslands of Africa to the frozen edges of the earth. We are a young species in cosmic time. Yet we have already altered our planet more profoundly than any life form before us. We have erased mountains, dammed rivers, and built cities that glow like constellations in the night. But our survival depends on balance, learning to live with the world, not just bending it to our will. If we fail, our story could end like so many others before us, lost to time and memory. If we succeed, our journey could stretch into the stars, making us a multiplanetary species. The choices we make today will echo for thousands of years, shaping the fate of generations yet unborn. We are the latest chapter in a long, unfinished book, a story written not just in words, but in stone, fire, and blood. From fragile foragers to planet shapers, our journey has been nothing short of miraculous. We carry the legacy of every ancestor, every sacrifice, every dream that brought us here. We are a species of survivors, creators, and seekers, always reaching for something beyond ourselves. The rise of Homo sapiens is not just history, it is a reminder of what imagination and unity can achieve. Though the future is uncertain, our past proves we are capable of wonders beyond measure. Our story is still being written, one choice, one step, one dream at a time. And as long as we remember where we came from, we may yet find the wisdom to know where we are going. Closing, we are Homo sapiens, the storytellers, the dreamers, the architects of our destiny, and this is just the beginning.